Hellhound episode. Tonight we are streaming Vaesen, a role-playing game that takes place in roughly in the Victorian era, the Industrial Revolution. Our game is set in Ireland round about that time. And for those of you who don't know, it was not exactly a high point in the history of Ireland. In fact, it was the 1800s was when one of the most horrific events in Irish history took place. The famine, which decimated the population, eliminated entire families, and left the entire country reeling. It was a horror that the country did not recover from in terms of its population until recently. So there is a strong content warning tonight. We will be discussing images of starvation and all that that entails, bodies and graves, as well as implied violence against children. It won't be described, but it will be part of the inciting incident of the story, as well as violence against women and some misogyny that characterized much of the attitudes during that time. If any of that is not okay with you, feel free to step back. Watch Cornman. Cornman, always a good choice. Very much a lighthearted romp in comparison to tonight's content. But other than that, with that trigger warning slash content warning in mind, we're going to get started. We will go Cal, Brian, Jay. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Cal. I'll be sort of playing and Vaesen, the writer, journalist. Yeah, journalist. Rowan Carrollton. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this new system. It's something new, something unique, and it's going to hopefully be interesting as we tell this story. Really looking forward to it.
I'm Brian. I'll be playing Jason Mork. He's an occultist who has some experience with supernatural in the past, some traumatic incidents with supernatural creatures tearing apart his partner. Another content warning: he is addicted to opioids, or well, opium specifically, and so that'll be active.
Hey, I'm Jay. So I will be playing the character Charlie Davy, Daly, not Charlie Davy, Charlie Daly. Charlie Daly is she is essentially she's working from the I don't know the right terminology for the system, but like the playbook of the private detective. But she is kind of she's on the run from her husband who not a nice man, and he's trying to make ends meet doing things like she has a kind of an eye for solving mystery, but she finds work, getting people out of flats they can't pay for, that sort of thing. Roughing people up, doing dirty work. But yeah, so that's I guess a brief intro to her.
Okay, so you have met the cast. Now it is time to head to Ireland. Everybody is logged into the VTT, correct? And we have tested our dice. Okay. I just want to make sure we don't have any more tech difficulties to screw things up for us. All right. Tonight we are headed to Dooley, which is a tiny town on the rocky western coast of Ireland. Recently, it was the site of a horrible tragedy, but you could be forgiven for failing to notice. The narrow dirt road leading to Dooley winds through crisp green countryside like a sleepy snake sunning itself in the mild sunshine. The evidence of tragedy only becomes visible when you approach the town. So you see things like empty homesteads with black cloth still waving in the wind. and barren patches of loosely turned dirt just outside of bulging cemeteries. This, of course, is the visual reminder of the plague that gutted the island like a fish. You're headed to the home of Michael Carlin, who was the father of Maureen Donahue. Donahue and her children were burned in their beds by their husband/father. It was Michael who summoned you to Dooley in the hopes of shedding light on what happened to his daughter and his grandchildren, because her murder wasn't merely a casualty. When Colin Donahue was apprehended, he claimed that the reason why he did what he did was because his wife and his children had been stolen away by the fairies. And Mr. Carlin is not able to go on unless he is able to know with certainty whether or not Colin was correct. We are headed to what was once upon a time the home of the Donahues to meet with Michael and give him our opinion. Do we want to have a scene where we speak with one another?
I take it we've been working together previously, or at least for the journey here, right?
I think we had agreed during session 0 that you guys knew one another.
Oh, that was like years ago. So
It certainly feels like it. Audience, I think we had our session 0 like a month and a half ago. Yes, we know one another, at least casually. We know of one another, and we all are members of the Vaesen Hunting Society.
yeah.
All right. So just so the other players are aware, my focus is on learning and studying.
Okay. I think we can just get right into it, I guess.
Okay. So we pull up to the carriage pulls up to the Donahue home, or rather what's left of it. I want you to envision a small one-story home that has significant evidence of fire damage. The frames of the doors are covered in black char, and a smell of death and smoke linger about the property as you approach. The man who has summoned you here, Michael Carlin, is standing in the door of the house, staring into the darkness as your carriage approaches.
I'll call out. Hello, good sir. What do you say here? Top of the morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
lucky Thomas for you.
Please
No,
don't.
sorry. No.
Yeah, Jay, get that Irish accent out.
Yeah.
Flex it.
I think it's a slur if I use an Irish accent.
What did you say, Cal?
I said all our Irish viewers have immediately left.
Yeah.
No comment. Anyways, Michael doesn't turn around immediately. He's squinting and staring into the darkness. It's almost as if he is transfixed by something inside.
I feel like we're going to have to go up to him. He doesn't appear to be listening to us.
I'll call out to him as we walk up. Hello, are you Michael? We have been summoned to aid in a task.
I'm kind of going to hang a little bit behind the other characters a little bit.
Rowan is more focused on seeing what Michael is transfixed on precisely.
You're mute.
Uh-huh. So I noticed when you guys didn't hear me. When you approach Michael, he turns around and he kind of flinches and jumps slightly. He turns around and meets your gaze, looking you dead in the eye, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I must have gotten lost and thought for a moment."
Is he dressed nicely? I mean, can I get a fix on him at all through his attire?
He is very, very old for somebody living during this time period. So think late 60s. His skin is fragile and frail and pale like paper. And his frame is still emaciated, even though the worst of the famine is over. He's dressed in simple clothes that would be indicative of a farmer, but it's clear that this outfit has seen better days. It has obvious marks of darning, and you can tell that it's fabric that has been worn and washed for years.
Can we tell what he was looking at or staring at as we were walking up?
Do you peer inside?
Rowan would, yeah.
He's going to pull the door shut quickly before Rowan has an opportunity to get much of a look inside.
Sorry, didn't mean to snip. I was just, you seem transfixed on something. Are you okay?
Well, you know how ghosts are.
Ghosts.
They figurative ghosts. And he kind of looks down at his feet for a moment when he says that and drags his feet against the earth. Thank all of you for coming. I'd offer you something to eat or drink if I had it. I could probably take you back to my little cottage back over the way, get you some tea, maybe some water, offer you a place to sit down. I don't know if you'd like to get right to it.
It would be lovely. Perhaps you could fill us in on what you've seen.
And why we're here.
He smiles at you and he nods. Of course, I'd be happy to fill you in on what my son-in-law has claimed. And maybe you could tell me a little bit about yourselves. Shall we pop on down to the cottage for tea?
Very well.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't think we have time to waste.
So slowly, Michael begins making his way up the footpath through a relatively flat area of terrain. he kind of motions for you to come along with him. But as he's walking, he casts a look back over his shoulder at the darkened house. Do we
Are you sure you're
go ahead.
Are you sure you're okay? If you need any assistance, we could offer it. We just need to know what's going on. You seem really disturbed by the house.
Hmm. Do we want to make our first skill test?
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Cal could be the guinea pig.
Okay. Let's see. What shall we have you roll? What exactly do you want to get out of this old man?
So I just want to basically find out why he is acting strangely in quotations. Yeah, why he's been acting strangely since we've met him.
Okay, so you want to persuade him to give you information. You want him to disclose whatever it is you feel
Yeah.
like he's not telling you.
Yeah, to tell us, not everything, but at least what you know.
How about a manipulation empathy test with a difficulty of 1? For those of you who don't know the Vaesen mechanics, you roll d6s, and a success is defined as a 6. So most of the time, your difficulty is 1, unless it's something really, really hard to do. But other than that, we still have not had a great deal of success on these tests when we did our first go of it. Oh, but this was a success, Cal. It looks
Got
like
a
you
1.
got 1 success.
So Rowan, he sort of puts on a genuine, compassionate tone, and he just says, "Please, you can trust us. We wouldn't be here if you couldn't trust us. We just want to understand so that we can help you and your family heal and move on from all of this tragedy."
Do you ever think that you hear something or you see something? And
Rowan sort
the
of
longer you stare at it, the more confusing it becomes.
Rowan sort of takes out a journal and he just starts writing, but he's maintaining eye contact with the man, but he's writing down. He's a skilled writer. He doesn't need to look when he writes, and he just says, "Do you mean like an echo of someone or something?"
I thought I heard my granddaughter.
And your granddaughter is.
Well, she's dead, Mr. Harleton. She's dead.
Uh, what what was her name?
Her name was Mary.
Forgive me, but I mean, grief can do multiple things. I I too think I hear departed family members occasionally. Um, maybe they're there, maybe they're not. I'm not sure.
He pulls his garments more closely around him. And something about what you've said has sort of upset him, or maybe something about the memory that he's recalling has upset him. But he's going to turn around and continue more briskly towards the cottage.
I'll follow.
Yeah, continue to follow.
Okay, so he leads you back to a tidy, cozy cottage. The walls here are stone with a sort of like wooden frame around the door. It's largely a single room, save for a bedroom, which is tucked away off to the side. Even though it's relatively warm, there's still a fire going in the hearth. And he is going to put a kettle on for tea. Once the tea is ready, he will serve you and sit down to speak with you.
I have to ask, how is the tea?
Well, how do you like your tea?
I like it pretty strong. I guess a strong black tea. Yeah, hot.
Do you take milk or cream and sugar in your tea, or do you like it just straight?
It's straight black. Yeah.
So this should be acceptable to you because
Okay.
milk and cream and sugar were not exactly luxuries that were very common
I would
in
figure.
this particular era.
Yeah, we don't come to Ireland looking for niceties.
In the 1800s.
It's funny nice today.
It's not representative of the current state of Ireland. No matter what Brian tries to tell you.
I was there and I could get
What?
cream and sugar on my tea, so I can confirm.
We say that, but we just indulge in this poor man's tea and food that
Right.
that is desperately needed. Yeah, but yeah, Rowan would also take a cup of tea. He likes his with a lot of milk.
I don't think you're getting it today,
Yeah,
buddy.
you don't have that, Rowan. You're not getting any milk in your tea. You're going to have to cope with that.
Thank you. The tea is lovely as I expected it would be. Um, I don't want to waste any more of your time than we need to. Um, we would like to help you though, so maybe you could help us by giving us some detail.
I can certainly try. What do you want to know?
Uh, what exactly in your words has been happening?
Colin said Maureen and the kids went funny. They stopped being like themselves. They grew malicious. And he became convinced that the good folk had taken them away and replaced them with monsters. And he said that he was going to try to get them back by intimidating them with fire.
Yes, I noticed the fire damage on the house.
He still swears that those were not his wife and children that he burned.
Is so he's still alive.
He's still alive. They're holding him in town. They're going to put him on trial. I don't know if he's lying. I don't know if he's mad. But I also don't know if he's lying. When I heard them calling out to me, it wasn't a voice of a loved one calling out in loving ways. They were mocking me.
See,
But I might also be mad as well. As you said, grief does funny things to the mind, doesn't it?
it does, yes. When my mother died, I could hear her for weeks. I dreamt about her every night. It was awful. I'm so sorry for what you've gone through.
The house is structurally sound. The fire did damage parts of it, but it's still fit to stay in. And I thought that the three of you might find it suitable to your purposes. However, I'm now beginning to think better of it and think perhaps maybe I could fix you something comfortable here.
I don't think that's necessary. We've we've faced things before that are maybe not ordinary. Um, I think that we
So
can.
you believe him?
I didn't say that. I believe it's possible, but we do need to do a little more investigation to see.
Uh, I believe I might have a solution that could put your mind at ease. You wouldn't happen to have an object that belonged to Mary, did you?
Of course I have something that belonged to Mary. Will that be helpful to you?
It would, yes, in our investigation.
I can give you that.
I don't do this without permission, but I don't know if you have maintained communication with England. Um, we are we're in the time of the occult. Um, we are learning more about the world, and I have adapted that.
I don't want anything that's not Christian.
It is fully Christian, I assure you. I was hoping for your permission to, and you can, if you feel comfortable being there, to perform a séance to try and call Mary and ask her. Maybe you can even speak and draw any conclusions that you didn't have before she passed. It might help you relieve any troubles that ails your mind.
Does anybody else want to chime in anything here to assist with
Yeah.
persuasion a little?
Well, Rowan, will this would only work if she's indeed dead and not a changeling that was burned, right?
Yeah, if she is a spirit.
So it would at least confirm.
I think
And
that
Rowan might say seance, but it's really more of a prayer, asking for God's help,
I agree.
and really bridging just a communication with heaven.
Rowan, this is over the table. What is exactly your beliefs regarding the afterlife? Are you being honest and on the level?
Rowan is agnostic. His trauma of losing his brother and his hatred for Vaesen have sort of shaped his religious views to he doesn't know, and he doesn't care that he doesn't know, but he will find out eventually, and that is for down the road when he is dead. Now he uses anything that he has to the best of his ability. So I feel like for this, he is trying to lean maybe a little bit persuasively towards, oh yeah, this is definitely Christian, even though he thinks it might not be fully Christian, that God himself isn't actually aiding him.
Okay. Give me another manipulation empathy test here. Same difficulty of 1. In order to put his mind to ease and convince him that this is perfectly consistent with his existing views. All right. That is another success for Cal.
Yeah.
Ooh, Cal, you're on fire tonight.
Yeah.
It's rare, it's rare.
All right, I can come with you. And he stands up and kind of pushes his chair back and raises his withered frame and moves slowly to the cupboard. He reaches inside and pulls out a small, well-loved doll. And he hands it to Rowan and places it gently in your hands. That girl to marry.
We could, of course, 100% do it here. It might be helpful though. That manor that you own, one of those rooms, is that where Mary passed? We did see the burn marks.
He nods.
Do you think it would be possible for us to perform our divine act in the room that she passed?
As long as it's quick and as long as it's respectful. I don't want any unchristian activities taking place on my property, and I don't want any unchristian malfeasance with my granddaughter's spirit.
Of course, of course. It will be quick.
He's going to stand and look out the window. I think we should probably get on with it. Were you intending to spend the night at that house?
As we said, we wouldn't want to impose ourselves on your hospitality more than we need to. If you intended for us to stay in the house, it's probably best that we remain there.
You should leave the lights on. A candle burning. Fire in the hearth. Promise me you'll keep a light source active for the duration of the night.
That I can do. What about you all? And he says, looking at sorry, I forgot the character's name, but he's looking at Brian and Jay's characters.
Yeah, it's Jason. Would there be a reason why you want us to keep a light on?
Bad things flourish in the dark.
Very well. Have you seen any? So we might know what to look for.
He shakes his head, but he says, Corin claimed to have seen things. He said in the dark they transformed into, or not into themselves. You could probably speak to him if you wished.
That would probably be useful. Take it he's at the local jail.
Indeed. Then there's the subject of payment. What did the lot of you want as payment? As I said in my letter, I don't have any money that would be of any use to you. I do, however, have stacks of old books of folklore.
Jason definitely perks up. That would be great. And if we find anything that isn't Christian, we'll confiscate that and turn it over to the church in London.
You're really kissing Michael's ass on this one, aren't you? Okay. He is going to hurry you along because it's already well past midday. And he wants to make sure that he gets you to the house and then returns back to his without having to walk alone in the dark. Is there anything else that we want to say or anything else we want to ask?
Should we have any kind of protection while we're there, like weapons? We do have a lady staying in the house.
Yeah, lady, how do you feel about that?
Um, inwardly smirking, but outwardly, I'm not going to say anything.
Ma'am, I did mean to ask, which of these lovely gentlemen is your husband?
Jason here. He and I have been married for it's been almost a year now, isn't it, Jason? Thank you.
Yes, we're hoping to be with child soon.
Yes, it's lovely to be able to work with your husband.
Good, good. I just
Then
wanted to make sure there's nothing
on toward.
unchaste occurring.
Agreed.
Yes.
I kind of want to see if you guys actually trick him. Um, to give us a description of what you look like, Jay, tell us a little bit about what your characters look like, respectively. What are we seeing?
So Charlie is she is a relatively young. So I mean, she's around 30 years old, but it looks probably closer to 40. She's thin. She is not very physically imposing. She might be about 5'5" and 100 pounds. Um,
Oh,
she
that's
really
tiny.
that is tiny, yes, and she really tries to get other people to do her more hands-on work for that reason. But she's dressed in just a plain skirt to her skirt that goes to her feet, and some kind of period appropriate blouse, I guess. I don't exactly know how to describe that.
And Jason's a white male. He's dressed like a gentleman from London. He's got a multi-piece suit on, a tie. He's got a top hat, a little walking cane. Definitely looks the part. Mid-30s.
And yeah, Rowan, he is actually 5'3". He's 20 in his years, so yeah, he's really tiny. Um, he has long hair. He sort of wears sort of like a scribe, sort of like it looks like a 1800s writing outfit that you would see that the scribes would wear. He's got like a backpack, and in that backpack is like a jar that's just filled with water, to sustain himself, and his notebook that he keeps to write in.
I'm gonna make a test on his behalf to see if he realizes you're full of shit.
Oh no.
And that you guys are engaged in fornication out of wedlock. Oh my god.
What?
You
Never.
fucking heathens.
They have camps here for that, Charlie.
They do. You're right. Yes, they do actually. I go work for the nuns. It'd be awesome.
All right. Let's see.
There's 0 successes, but yeah.
He seems to believe your lie that you are wed to Jason, Charlie. And he's going to escort the happy couple plus their faithful sidekick Rowan back to the Donahue home where his family stayed.
I think the story should be Rowan is just their adopted son. That's his tag.
Yeah.
He'll ask you questions about yourself. So, can I ask how you came to have an interest in these dark topics?
Oh, well, I've always been good at investigating and research, so, to make money, keep food on the table, I've proffered my services up to the crown, and they send me where they send me.
Oh, how happy it makes my Jason here, and so I grew to be fascinated as well. Um,
Yes. Until, of course, she's at home raising our children.
of course.
And after I lost my brother, I pledged to fight evil, an unchristian evil, wherever it may lie. And that's where I got into this line of business, to uphold good Christian values.
Um, he's going to look at Charlie and say, your father allowed you to wed one like that, he says, gesturing to the Englishman.
um, yes, it was a bit of a scandal, I'm afraid, but um, you know, my parents are very lenient.
Is he Catholic?
Of course, yes, he's a convert. Um,
Oh, I'm going to be disowned. Um, Jason, are you carrying any Catholic paraphernalia?
Mm, let me roll a die.
I could do a test of
Here.
readiness. I think it's late,
What was that? Test
Yeah, you
ready?
did know where you're located, so it would
Sure.
make sense if you had
I'll have a
paraphernalia.
rosary.
Okay, all right.
Helps me fit in, helps other people feel more comfortable. Probably not carrying around a Bible.
Is Jason Catholic?
Yeah, he'll be Catholic. Not like fire and brimstone Catholic, but good Sunday Catholic.
So not a real Catholic then.
Depends on how you define real Catholic. Over the table, my
Um,
family's a bunch of Sunday Catholics that consider themselves very real Catholics.
okay. Um, I don't know if that would have passed muster at this point in time in Ireland, but you do have a rosary, which is points in your favor. Um, okay. So we head to the house. He cautiously opens the door. The thin midday, mid afternoon light enters through the door and illuminates the floor and the wall across from it. And you can see that there are areas where the wall is insulated, and one of them is shaped like a person. A person had leaned against that wall as it burned. The scent of kerosene is still heavy in the air,
Mm.
along with the pungent smell of the burned wood. Michael leads you in and points to several cots that he has had pulled into the house to make you more comfortable, that are positioned across from that awful burned mark. You can also detect the crisp smell of something singed, like meat left to cook too long.
Thank you for your hospitality, Michael. We'll try to figure this out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, this will only take a few minutes. Um,
Hours.
He's
We're staying
Rowan
overnight.
is very your adopted son is very confident. Very, very confident. A few minutes, he's gonna solve the whole thing
Yes,
in a few freaking minutes.
he'll find the missing people, and
Right?
get the guy out of jail, and
I
yeah,
mean, this is how our family unit work. Charlie and Jason just toss Rowan into the wolves, and he either comes out alive and with the
yeah.
information, or he comes
Mhm.
out dead.
You mean doesn't come out?
Doesn't come out, yeah.
Okay. So he's going to light the lantern and make sure there is enough light in this place to remove any dark corners. And then he's going to wait for Rowan to kick off this seance.
Mm. So Rowan takes out his notebook and he flips it to his seance page that he calls it. And what it is on the first page there is Christian symbols, the cross, the Trinity, different symbols like that. That is on the first page. On the other is more like occult, Vaesen sort of ritualistic symbols that definitely don't look Christian. And in the middle there's a circle, and he takes the item that belonged to Mary and he places it within this circle, and he takes out a pen, and with the pen he sticks it deep into his finger to draw blood, and he positions it over the item.
Michael's going to
And
start praying. He's already
Yeah.
praying, man. You're
J-
already.
Jason will do the sign of the cross and say, "Let us pray."
Okay.
and
Are you continuing as this old Irishman just
no,
starts praying? Um,
yeah, they'll get over it. What can go
I
wrong?
I bet he will. I bet he will, and just move on past this. Um, Okay. So
No,
like the bloodletting and like putting it on the doll. Oh my god.
As Jesus'
y-
blood cleansed our sins.
now, Neve, can I like opt to fail this roll? Is that like a choice? Because one of the options that says if you fail this power automatic writing is you get possessed, and I kind of want Rowan to get possessed by Mary.
There's no
I,
guarantee
Okay.
I'm
who
sorry.
possesses you.
I'm sorry, but that's. I feel like it would be really appropriate.
What I don't know. Do we want to give Cal this power? Do we think
Right.
that
That's a lot of
giving
power.
our chief chaos gremlin the ability to deliberately fail his roles is a good idea?
Well, and who's to say Mary's the one that possessed you? It could be the kid.
Yeah,
It
I don't
could
know. I
be
think you should. I think you should roll.
roll. Okay.
Marine is the daughter, is
Yeah,
Michael's daughter. Mary is her daughter with
daughter,
Colin.
granddaughter.
Yeah.
I'll
Keep it
roll.
straight.
Yeah, jeez, man.
You could be
Okay.
possessed from some ancient Irishman that died here 300 years ago.
I'll roll, but I'm hoping I fail. Okay. So that's inspiration. Okay.
You've been on fire thus far, and you're still on fire.
Two, yeah.
That's
Yeah, your
good.
empathy's pretty good.
Yeah, it's my biggest dice pool.
Yeah.
You
Okay, so
muted me.
tell us what happens. What does this look like?
So, holding over the pen for a few moments, he begins to chant in a semi-religious Catholic prayer. And he lets the pen go.
Cal, what is a semi-religious Catholic prayer? My imagination again is failing me.
Actually,
What do those
I want
Latin.
sound
you
like?
The answer is Latin.
recite the Apostles' Creed now, or I won't believe your Catholic credentials.
Mm.
It's like a Latin version of the Hail Mary, but if the Hail Mary was like
Yeah.
weird,
Ave Maria.
yeah.
Yes.
And he lets go of the pen, and the pen levitates and sort of stays midpoint as the blood trickles down onto the pages. And within that circle, it begins to write as a way to commune with the spirit.
Michael is going to leap up and back away from Rowan as he sees the pen levitate.
It's going to scream, "Devil child, burn him!"
uh,
What?
uh,
Go ahead.
Jason will say as part of his prayers, and as the blood cleanses our sins, Jesus rose from the dead, descended to heaven, floated
Ave
for
Maria.
those to
Gratia
see.
plena. I'll be just be chatting in Latin. Dominus tecum.
Okay. The pen is still levitating. Um, and I think that's kind of the problem is the levitating pen.
Yeah.
Not the fact that he thinks like it's unchristian, but like a pen is levitating, which is wild, y'all.
Mhm.
Wild.
It is wild, yes.
What do you write on the paper, Rowan?
He writes down, "Is Michael Mary's grandfather or father?"
Grandfather. Her father was the
Grand,
one who burnt her.
yeah. Mary. He would write down, "Mary, we seek to commune with you. Your grandfather is here. Can you respond?" And he'll put the pen down and see if it levitates and writes.
The pen begins to scratch deep marks and grooves into the paper. It's a cross hatching of ink. And you realize that whoever is moving this pen is sketching fire.
Once they're finished, I would write down your husband did the fire. Are you? Yeah, no, he would just write your husband did the fire? Question mark.
An unsteady hand seizes yours. Rowan, it feels like your entire hand and arm goes cold. Have you ever slept like on your arm and then you wake up and you have no feeling in it whatsoever?
Yeah.
It's similar to that feeling, except it is absolutely freezing cold. Indeed, the comfortable, temperate climate inside this little house has now grown palpably cold. If you are not dressed in layers, you are going to begin to shiver. And Rowan, your hand sketches FTHR.
FTHR, so as in closest to like father.
Yes, Mary or the boy, Patrick.
As he's shivering, he's going to. This is probably bad. He's going to call out to Michael to come closer. It's your family, Michael. They want to see you.
Michael is going to take a step closer, and you hear him whisper, Mary, is that you? Mary, can you hear me? Your hand slams down on the paper, Rowan. You're gripping the pen in a closed fist, and you carve into the paper the letter Y.
Um, Rowan is a bit nervous now. It might not be, but he's thinking that maybe the grandfather wasn't so innocent.
Mary, are you somewhere safe? Is it beautiful where you are? Your free hand, Rowan, lurches suddenly to the paper and rips it off and casts it aside. With the pen, you carve into the paper COLD. And before you have an opportunity to stop it, you next follow that with the letters DRK.
What? Sorry. What does that all spell out? Sorry, I was trying to type it, but
It's cold and dark.
Cold and dark.
It's cold and
Yeah.
dark.
You hear a high-pitched laugh come from the rear of the house, where shadows are beginning to pool.
I will get up and investigate that.
By investigate, do you mean investigate, like you want to make an observation check?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. It is observation empathy, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
So I will go ahead and roll. Not a good. Nope. So that is a fail.
You only have 2 dice?
I know she's not empathy character. No.
So you rise up out of your chair as Rowan's hand is trembling, pen clutched in his closed fist, and begin to make your way towards the area where you heard the sound. You creep ever closer, peering into the shadows, and suddenly, from the area where it's darkest, a tiny hand reaches through and grabs you by the ankle. Charlie.
Is this a very forceful grab, like they're trying to pull me down, or they just?
Oh, they're pulling you towards the shadow. They
Okay,
reach out, seize your ankle, and pull you towards the shadow.
then I will furiously begin kicking and attempting to drag myself away.
The instant you kick, the hand releases you, but you are now on your ass.
I will scoot like back this way to get back to the room with the other people.
I'll move over to help her up.
Like there's something over there.
Dear, I've told you before not to go off by yourself.
Michael's head whips from Rowan to the corner where attention is currently located. But your hand, Rowan, scrawls out another message. RUN. And then the connection is broken.
So what happened, Charlie?
There was some. I saw a hand out in the corner, grabbed me on the ankle, tried to pull me down.
Yeah, we should go. That's the ceremony completed. He'll slam the book shut, and he'll sort of turn to them. We should leave this room.
Why?
Let the spirits rest in peace. You've already disturbed them enough of your shenanigans.
Something quick moves through the darkness, and one of the candles is snuffed out.
I think we should leave. I'm going. I'm going to head to the exit. Honey, we should go.
Let's go.
I need to blow the candles out. Just wait. You want the
I'll
whole
run.
damn house to blow down?
I'll run over to the candles and blow them out myself.
Okay. Are we leaving Charlie and Michael in the dark by themselves?
Yes.
No.
I'm just kidding.
You goddamn chaos
Right.
gremlin.
I'm kidding.
He
I'm
is.
kidding. I'm not that mean. We're gonna help.
Help by holding the door open, right? To let in as much light as possible.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
And the lamp, holding the lamp for him while he's putting out candles.
Okay. So one by one, Michael snuffs out the candles with Charlie's help, and the group exits the Donahue home. He's going to look at Jason and say, you know, you really should think long and hard about whether this is an appropriate occupation for a woman.
Good point. Good point. I will take that into consideration.
Oh, thank you, sir. I've thought the same thing myself on occasion. It's just too much excitement.
You know, we have to have someone around to do the laundry and
Yes.
pack the bags, do the cooking.
Then perhaps it's time for you to take up a steady life at home with the missus instead of prowling about the countryside.
We'll do that as soon as she's with child. That's the plan.
Mom, are you okay? Did you fall?
Oh, I just had a little tumble in there. It was dark. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Thank you.
he's going to look to Rowan now. So what does that mean? Are you sure that that was Mary?
It was one of them that died in the fire, clearly, from the notes that we have. The spirit reacted violently when you approached. Did you have... I know this might be personal to ask, but did you have any hostility before Mary passed? Was there a fight, an argument, or something of that nature?
Manipulation, empathy. This time your difficulties 2.
So, manipulation.
Yeah, it never happening.
What if he nails it? What if he knocks it out of
Right.
the park? And this is all of his luck.
Cal will never want to play on Roll20 again. There
Oh,
you go. That's the Cal we know.
you got a full house. That's good.
What
If
happens
Yahtzee,
I
it'd be good.
What happens if I push?
I think you get one of the conditions if you push.
Yeah, you do. You get it's like a condition. It's no fun.
Do you want to try to push?
You know what? It's been stressful. Let's try and do it. Let's
Okay.
Buddy.
I got nothing. Aw.
So do you like roll
See,
for a condition?
As far as I'm concerned, you can choose one of the appropriate conditions. As you're looking, let's keep going on. He says, no, of course not. Mary and Maureen and Patrick and I were all on great terms before they passed.
I'm sure our friend was just making sure.
So, will you be spending the night in the house, or should I draw up a place for you to sleep in the main house?
Rowan? You probably should make that call. We can discuss later what you found out from your prayers.
You know, I did say initially that we wouldn't want to impose on your hospitality, but I feel like it would be better for us to transfer our stay to what you offered, to stay in the little cottage of our own.
Very good, he says. Here's a fun fact for the audience. Whenever we're live streaming, we have a little red dot in the upper left-hand corner of our window, our screen. And I had not really been paying attention, and I have been trying to figure out what that pinkish red thing on my wall was for like 5 fucking minutes. I'm like, did I stick a pink post-it note on the wall or something?
Yeah.
What is that? And then I looked at Cal's window and he also has one, and I'm like, do we have the same post-its? And then I realized it's a fucking live dot. Excellent. I love that for me. Well, one mystery has been solved. The case of the phantom red dot on my wall.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
Conditions.
Conditions and staying in the main house.
Yep.
Okay. He's going to draw up some sleeping quarters for you in his house, to the best of his ability, to accommodate you and make you comfortable. The married couple can, of course, have his bed since he's a widower. And little Rowan can have a cot on the floor. he will prepare dinner and ensure that everybody has said their blessings. And then he is going to scoot off to bed himself, leaving the group to talk amongst themselves.
Roland, what happened in there?
The spirit became aggressive when the grandfather approached. It said father, but it could also, I'm thinking maybe. I'm not trying to cast accusations, but I think we should have a suspect list and we should keep Michael on it. I'm not saying he's responsible for the death of
Well,
Mary, but
didn't Colin admit to it?
Pretty much, but so if if the family is dead and burned, they're not changelings. If he could summon them in a séance, which means that grandfather or the father who admitted to burning them could be changelings or Venetians, right?
you think Michael is a changeling?
I don't know.
I mean,
Do we have a good way to tell?
You
or
It
know,
it
seems
could just
Jason,
be
innocent, but
it could be he went mad. It happens. It's been
yeah,
a bad time.
yeah, Jason, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but that kind of thinking led to this whole situation where it started a witch hunt of trying to figure out if people are changelings or not, and it led to possibly, clearly, innocents dying.
sure that thinking led there with people who like burning other people. But we're more reasonable, rational people here, right? So
Well, we need to talk to Colin, at the very least.
agreed.
But what did you see in your book?
I can show you, and he'll show them the text that was drawn hard into the book. He'll show them the other page too. The spirit reacted more violently when Michael came closer,
Cold and
and
dark?
that's
Is that what happens
Well,
when we die?
at least they're not burning in hell, right? That's a good thing. That means purgatory. That's what it sounds like.
I guess.
Jason. You can't make claims about someone's final destination. It is
I can't.
unpleasant. It is unpleasant and rude.
Well, it didn't sound like heaven.
Regardless, it is not our place to judge.
Yeah. When I am observing the beatific vision, I hope it is not cold and dark.
Anyway, we definitely should talk to the father who says he burned them, that they were
Yes.
Venetians or changelings. Do you have any way to determine if it's one of the Fae, Rowan?
Do I
Since
do I look
you
do I look like a fae expert?
I mean,
I
Of
have
course
no.
not.
You just summoned ghosts to talk to.
we
Yes,
we
yes, you
we
do.
we all. I mean, we've been in Ireland long. You've been in Ireland long enough. I mean, iron. We press them with iron. See if they react. Um,
Hmm. I
Yeah,
retract my
iron.
statement about us being reasonable people.
I mean, it could work if you want to go down that route. I suggest we also try and do that to Michael in a friendly way. Maybe we can try and find like an iron coin that we can just brush up against his skin.
He probably has an iron skillet that he cooks with,
Mm.
or his wife did.
he wasn't exactly giving off changeling vibes to me. Fey vibes. Not that I got to watch my language. Vibes is be incredibly anachronistic, I think, to say it like that. But
I think we can be forgiven if
yeah,
Yeah,
we slip in the occasional anachronism,
yeah,
ma'am.
yo, fam, is
true.
he vibing that way?
Yeah.
The 1800s vibes. They were weird times.
Indeed, indeed. That could be the tagline for this game. Weird times.
He does not
Yes,
have the aura of a fae about him.
exactly. Yes.
Well, I believe that's the whole point of the Fae, that they're supposed to be as hidden as possible.
I know if they were
They
obvious,
won't
they'd be easy to hunt.
exactly. So I think we should. I think we have a plan.
Do we? What if we just, spitballing here, run into a fae? What are we gonna do? Ask it to nicely leave?
Do not do what it tells you. Don't agree to anything. Try to get out of it as fast as you can.
So run.
Exactly.
Don't you not? This is coming from myself in England, who've read a lot of stories. Don't you not like toss salt at their feet to like wash them away?
Um,
I thought salt forms a barrier that prevents them.
I,
They can't cross it.
yeah,
Isn't that what salt's
I
supposed to
don't,
be
I don't,
for?
I don't, I don't know. I just salt. I'm not an occultist.
I've never heard of banishing Fae with salt.
Cal's characters just are always constantly very reliant on salt. It's like he's fucking sponsored by them or something.
It's like Morton's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just stops to show the product.
Oh yeah, let's actually. We're actually gonna go to a commercial now. We're gonna talk for 2 minutes about Morton's salt.
And it's fae banishing benefits.
Exactly. Yes. Use the offer code HECKHOUND and get 2 for 1 salt.
Morton, hit us up. Hit us up
Mhm.
for a salt sponsorship. We're game. We're down for it.
All right. So right now, our current plan is if we run to a fae, we run away from it. What? We go back to London and ask them to send some real hunters. Is that the thought?
Well, we're here to figure out what happened, and I think that running away, if we need to, is okay within the terms of what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, Jason, can you not fight?
Yeah,
Oh, I can
Jason.
fight, but
Aren't you going to protect your family?
Yes.
wife, you are my muse. You do bring peace and reason to my heart. So, yes, we probably should flee. That's a good idea.
And if we can't flee, Jason, you will take the iron and you will try and kill it.
You got an iron poker from a fireplace? Is that your what iron?
What?
You carry around a slab of iron with you?
Well, we'll need to get something with iron if we want to meet with.
Yeah, we can look for iron on the
I
way.
I guarantee you there's iron in this house, dude.
Yeah.
There's iron in this house. Here's another true Neve fact, brought to you by me, Neve. My grandparents actually keep iron in the house for purposes of, in case,
In case.
Yes.
for reasons of in case. So,
I've plenty of cast iron cookware. So
you never know when you spontaneously need iron. So there's definitely iron in this house.
all right, we can grab some salt too, right? Somewhere. And hope that works.
Sure. Sure.
We're really knowledgeable hunters. This is just
Salt.
maybe it'll work.
Well,
Just take it.
if we have some time and Michael's willing, I'd like to look at some of those books he was offering, see if I can find any useful information in them.
Okay.
Neve, could we make like a roll to see what we know? Maybe a learning roll to see what we know about the Fae.
Let's see.
Um,
I am an erudite. That's one of my talents. You can pass a
Yeah.
learning test to establish truths about places and phenomena in the game.
okay.
I just been
You know, a certain
assuming.
location is renowned for its glassblowers or gang or criminals, yada yada.
I've just been assuming that Charlie knows has a background knowledge about Fae. That makes sense, but yeah.
I think that we all have a background of common knowledge regarding the Fae. They are lovers of deals. They're particularly litigious and like to make contracts that they tend to adhere to, albeit in extremely favorable. They interpret those terms in ways that are extremely favorable to their own interests. So you have to be very, very careful how contracts or deals are worded. They can become very violent and dangerous if you intrude on their territory or take something from them, or you attempt to violate the terms of your own agreement. They dislike fire, they dislike iron. There are other folkloric ways to keep them at bay. But we kind of have that shared picture about what does and doesn't repel them.
All right, iron and fire. Sounds good. So let's keep that hearth burning at night.
Okay. Um, do we want to approach Michael first in the morning? Or do we want to go and talk to Colin? Or do we want to split the group?
Don't split the group.
I'd say don't split the group so
Yeah.
early, maybe. But
Yeah, let's
I
not split
think
up.
I think since we're closer to Michael, we should just pop over there, maybe say hello, but try and like brush him with the iron, see if there's a reaction, and then
why
go
not?
from there. If he wants to kill us, then
I mean, why not just ask him to humor us and hold something?
You just ask him if we can borrow an iron skillet and have him hand it to us.
That's a great idea. Yes.
We can
and
cook
if
some
he
breakfast.
doesn't, if he
Then
like
we'll.
hesitates,
I know a guy. We'll jump him and put some iron on his face. Come on, we can do this.
sounds like a plan.
Okay, so first we're interrogating the 70-year-old man. Sure. Let's do it. Are we keeping lights? Are we keeping some light source on us?
After what happened in the other house, yes.
Yeah.
Sounds prudent.
Okay.
Maybe have a dark corner so we can study if anything's happening while we're awake.
Rowan will try and take a lantern if he can.
Okay. You, Charlie, are going to have a nightmare. As you are sleeping in bed beside Jason, I don't know if Jason has done the gentlemanly thing and slept on the floor.
Yeah, Charlie doesn't care.
What? I'm supposed to lay in bed with my wife. That's how this works. No, I'd sleep on the floor.
As long as you're not touching her, she doesn't mind.
Not from the.
Okay.
I'm keeping the under the bed safe. Keeping an eye out for you, honey.
Do you guys snore? Your characters, do they fucking snore?
Oh, I don't
I'm
think so.
imagining Rowan snores like really loud. Um,
Really? I feel like he would be a really peaceful sleeper, just like cuddles up into a little ball on this little like hammock, like a little cat, and just sort of like hunches over.
oh, that's sort of precious. But it is Charlie whose sleep is troubled. You dream of fire. You're inside that house. You smell the scent of smoke filling the air. And as you sit up to investigate, you realize that the scent of smoke and that smell of burning is coming from your own body. You're on fire.
I'm literally burning currently now, physically. Okay.
You are literally burning.
Then I am going to furiously roll on the ground, try to get myself out if I can.
Okay. So you hurl yourself out of bed onto the ground and begin to roll and pat yourself in an effort to snuff out the flames. Jason, Rowan, this hubbub awakens the two of you. It appears as if your friend is caught in some kind of nightmare. She's screaming and rolling around and attempting to quiet imaginary flames.
I'll try to wake her up, not airplane style, but yeah, shake her a little bit gently, brush her hair. Honey, wake up! It's a nightmare.
I imagine I'm screaming. I mean, because it's
She
no fun being on
is.
fire. Yeah.
She is
Yeah.
screaming. You're gonna need to do something more dramatic than that to wake her up.
Rowan, with his jug of water that he has on his back in his satchel, he would take it and he would throw some of it onto Charlie.
So, Charlie, your eyes open. You are drenched in water and still feeling the quickly fading feeling of flames consuming your flesh. But the area on your ankle where that small hand touched is currently throbbing.
Does it, when I look at it, does it like, is it red or anything like that?
It's angry and red, like a burn. It looks as if somebody has held something hot close to your skin.
I imagine that what Charlie would have done after being doused in water would have been to kind of sit up, maybe kind of back herself into a wall, just trying to get her like bearings a little bit. Then she would look at her ankle where it hurts, and then would would see that and kind of gesture for Jason and Rowan, like this is where the hand grabbed me. It's like I was on fire. I don't know what's going on, but I was burning.
It's possible you have a ghost haunting you, the one that grabs you. That's my speculation.
So ghosts can do that? Can Fae do that?
I mean, ghost hauntings have been throughout history. If you've read books, Jason.
Bite me, Rowan.
Let's do a combat roll
Yeah.
to see how these fisticuffs go.
I don't know. Rowan's 5'3". I think I got to give it to Jason, but
You would. You're partial to your husband, aren't you?
exactly.
Rowan isn't
All right.
agile. Don't underestimate his agility.
He's agile. He's an agile 5'3". So sleeps like a little kitten on the floor. Okay.
No, we can place a cold rag on your ankle to hope it cools off and feels better.
Yeah,
Okay.
Think you can go back to sleep.
I think it would be hard for her to go back to sleep at this point, so she'd probably let us maybe like get in bed, but not.
Char-
They're just tossing her.
Char- Charlie, could you put your where the ghost touched you? Could you put it close to the flame? See if there's a reaction.
Close to the flame. I guess I could put if we have lanterns lit, I could put a lantern close to it and see what happens. Anything of note?
I mean, it's a burn, so the closer
Yeah.
you get it to heat, the more it hurts.
Hurts. Yeah. I don't think this. I don't think this is anything. No.
Well, at least we know that there's not something else lingering in there. Should be good.
If only somebody had opium or morphine, something to dull the pain. Somebody should be having a craving
Mm-hmm.
right about
Well,
now.
I was. Uh, I'm gonna take a short walk to help me go to sleep. Get tired.
Okay.
Calm down. That's where I'll smoke the opium so I feel better.
Okay. Um, are you just gonna like lay down in the grass and be high on opium?
No, I'll make my way back to the house slowly. But I'll
You're not
enjoy
like
some of
super
the.
high. You're not like opium den on the floor, like in a coma.
Not yet.
High. Okay.
The Order has sent their greatest hunters.
Yeah.
Investigate.
That's right.
We
Well, it is
just can't
Ireland.
catch a break. Exactly. We just can't catch a break. They sent us these cut rate.
I'm not gonna send their best and brightest to Ireland.
Ouch. Oh my god. We got ourselves an opium addict. We have ourselves a little napping kitten, and then Charlie.
Oh.
It's quite the trio of winners. Anywho, okay, he's stepping out for a walk. Is anybody else concerned that he's headed out into the darkness by himself?
Where are you going, Jason?
Just short walk outside. Get some fresh air.
Be careful. It's dark.
Yeah, oh, I'm not that worried. I think the little shadow grabbing hands are probably isolated to a house.
Listen, I can't sleep. I'll come with you.
God damn. All right, but I do plan on using the outhouse while I'm out.
Charlie, are you
Yeah.
sure you can walk? I mean, your ankle must be killing you.
Does it hurt to walk, or is it just like a surface burn?
It's just a surface burn. It doesn't hurt to walk.
Yeah, I should be okay.
Yes, we want to leave the one who communes with spirits and can be possessed and by themselves. That's
Yeah.
a good choice here. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Should we all stick together? I mean, I could stay here in the safety of the house.
Yeah, shouldn't we all stick together?
You want to come?
Y'all can hold my hand while I
No,
sit in the outhouse.
no, I'll stay here. If something happens, just scream and I'll come
Yeah.
running.
Yeah. Keep an eye on it. Make sure the old man doesn't do anything crazy.
Okay, I want to fast forward as the two of you stumble out of the little cottage into the bracing night air, a quarter moon overhead. You hear the sound of night birds and insects. Other than that, the night is quiet. Way, way, way off in the distance, you see the twinkling of a fire. Probably someone waking up early to tend whatever livestock they have left. and the two of you are taking a walk. Jason, your urge for your drug of choice is beginning to ache. It went from a dull, nagging itch to a throbbing hunger for your substance.
I'll pull out my pipe, get it ready. Uh, your ankle looks like it hurts.
Oh, it doesn't feel good. No.
The
Um,
the ambiance of the night has me feeling somewhat generous. Try a puff of this; it'll help.
um, oh, 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 I could use this. Thank you. I will gently take it from you, and I will take a puff and give it back to you. Not a generous puff, not a, a deep inhale or anything, but yeah.
Stranger danger.
Mhm.
You shouldn't take pipes that strange men give you when you're out walking alone.
That's true. He is a strange man.
But also her husband.
Yes.
You have a great taste in men.
Thank you. I'm often told that.
Okay. So you're just revealing it. You're not trying to keep it a secret from Charlie anymore.
I'm gonna tell Charlie it's just a special tobacco from India.
Make a manipulation test. Charlie, you make a empathy observation test. You make an
Okay.
observation check.
Yeah, I didn't get any successes.
Zero.
I'm gonna give it to active, so that doesn't sound half as suspicious as it should.
Okay. That's interesting. Special tobacco. Thank you. I don't normally smoke, but occasionally it really does soothe the nerves.
Quite so, quite so. Jason won't offer anymore.
Happy 420, everybody out there in YouTube.
Oh yeah. Well, we're almost done, so I can do this now.
I don't think YouTube likes that. If we
Yeah.
were ever going to become monetized,
It's tobacco.
oh,
Right.
It's a special
sure.
Indian tobacco.
It's a special Indian tobacco.
This put in a vape pen.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyways, okay. I'm gonna fast forward through this unless there's anything else
No.
that we want to.
Unless we're gonna get
No.
jumped by ghosts, I think we can fast forward.
Okay. Finally, the sun comes up. Jason, Charlie, and Rowan have survived the night. You are having a bowl of porridge for breakfast, courtesy of Michael. Do we want to try to touch him with a coin or whatever the hell we were doing?
Oh yeah, you
Go
wanted
for
to
it,
ask him
Rowan.
for a. I'm no good at asking people for anything, so
What? What was it called? The thing that we wanted to give him?
Something is iron.
yeah, like an iron pot or something.
We were going to try the direct route and just ask him if he would submit to a test. I think we're going to wrap here, though, after we ask him this question.
So yeah, I think bluntly, Rowan, as they're having their meal, will just ask, Michael, we would like you to submit to a test, if that's all right. We need to be sure that you are human.
He he's going to push himself back from the table pretty quickly and narrow his eyes at you, Rowan. What do you mean, what kind of taste?
Could you pick up iron? Something iron. Anything iron.
You see a look of remembrance flash across his face, followed by concern, and he says, "Oh no, it's starting again." I knew I shouldn't have let you in that house.
Did your son ask the same thing?
He looks over at Jason and says, "Aye, that's how it started. Micro started asking everyone to submit to a test. Wanted to see if he could scratch him with iron and if it left marks. But obviously, that's not where it ended. We know where it ended.
Perhaps if there were changelings, they were influencing uh, the son. Cohen, is that his name?
Colin.
Colin.
Colin Donahue.
And seeding him with this paranoia. Fascinating. I'll puff on my pipe a little bit with some regular tobacco.
I know it seems like it's contagious.
It's just a formality, just to be safe.
Yeah, well, Maureen handled iron too. And that still didn't satisfy him.
It will satisfy us. I assure you.
We are of a rational mind.
Give me another persuasion test. Someone who is good at it.
Go,
Definitely not me.
Rowan.
I have 5 days. Anyone to pass 5?
Nope.
I got like
3.
2.
Okay. I'll
No, 1. I got 1 dice. Yeah.
come on. Give us 3 successes.
We just need one.
Keep that streak going, Cal.
Oh,
God damn it.
You want a
You got the-
condition?
you got the push again. Get yourself another condition.
Another one.
No, don't do that.
If I pass, do I get a condition?
Yeah, you get condition anyway, I think.
Yeah, you get a condition.
Yeah, we'll not do that. Yeah, we'll keep it at 0. We can
So he
always force
says-
him to touch iron if need be.
He says, "No, we're not going down that road. We're not going down the road of testing people with skillets and pokers. I don't want it happening again."
I understand. I understand. Rowan, we don't have to do this. We can cut back to this.
Rowan, there is a kettle nearby. You could just grab it and have it make contact with the skin. You could grab for one of the pokers.
That's a little bit extreme and drastic. I don't want to pick up this kettle and throw it right at his head to see what happens.
Just kill him. He could be, or
Just kill him.
Well, I didn't say hurl it at his head like a missile. I said pick it up and touch it to his skin, not brain him with it, Cal.
Brain him and see if his brain is pink the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know what? We're agile. We're going to try and quickly, rapid reflexes. touch him with it.
Oh, you're actually gonna do it?
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll to touch this old man with the kettle, but I am going to make you wait to see what happens when you do.
Dun dun dun.
That's going to be our cliffhanger. All right. So that was the first episode of our Dark series Vaesen, set in 19th century Ireland. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we will see you later. Bye.